Stop trading if you still haven't internalized a deceptively simple truth, the place where most accounts quietly die. The time frame you're looking at is not the market. You think you're reading the market. In reality, you're reading a very thin slice of it. And that slice is just enough to give you the confidence to enter a trade, but not enough to keep you alive. Pause for a moment and think back to your last entry. Not the strategy, not the indicators, but the exact moment before you clicked buy or sell. What did you see? A strong candle, a clean breakout, a structure that looked perfect, and you believed it was an opportunity. Then minutes later, the market reversed. No warning, no explanation. It simply moved against you. You call it unpredictable, but the reality is you're observing the wrong layer of the system. The market is not what you see on your screen. It's a nested structure where each time frame is just one layer within a much larger framework. A 4H candle is not just a candle. It's the aggregation of hundreds of smaller movements beneath it. What you see on the 1 minute is nothing more than micro fluctuations inside a broader narrative you're not seeing. And this is where the breakdown begins. You look at M1 and see a trend. You look at M5 and see a reversal. You look at M15 and see a pattern. But what you fail to recognize is that all of it may simply be noise. Not random noise, structured noise. Noise generated by the very mechanics of how the market operates. The issue isn't a lack of knowledge. It's that you're placing conviction on a level of data that is too small to carry real meaning. It's like standing inches away from a painting and trying to understand it by analyzing a single brushstroke. You'll see color, you'll see motion, but you'll never see the picture. In the market, lower time frames create the illusion of clarity. Every candle feels like a story. Every move feels like a signal. But that clarity is the trap. Because the clearer it looks on the lower time frame, the more it compels you to act. And the more you act, the deeper you get pulled into an emotional loop. Price moves, you fear missing out. Price reverses, you panic. A new signal appears, you enter again. No pause, no higher context, only reaction. That's not trading. That's being controlled. Understand this with precision. Lower timeframes are not wrong, but they do not have authority. Authority always resides in the higher time frame. Trends are not created on M1. They are not confirmed on M5. They are formed and sustained on timeframes most retail traders lack the patience to observe. And that's exactly why you keep getting trapped. You see a sharp drop on M5 and assume the trend has reversed. On H4, it's just a pullback. You see a breakout on M1 and assume a new expansion phase has begun. On H1, it's just a liquidity sweep. You're not wrong for observing. You're wrong for concluding. Because your conclusions are built on a fragment of the full structure. And the market does not operate on fragments. It operates on capital flows. Capital doesn't care about individual M1 candles. It doesn't react to small fluctuations. It moves through larger value zones, broader structures, and decisions formed on timeframes you rarely pay attention to. What you see on the lower time frame is evidence, not cause. Yet you trade the evidence. You see movement and you react. You don't ask where it came from. You don't ask which structure it belongs to. You simply see it and you act. That's why you keep entering in the middle. In the middle of a trend you don't understand. In the middle of a pullback you mistake for a reversal. In the middle of a trap you believe is an opportunity, and then your stop gets taken. Not because you lack ability, but because you're playing a game at a level where the rules are designed against you. Imagine someone watching ripples on the surface of the ocean, trying to predict the direction of the entire body of water. Every ripple looks important. Every movement seems meaningful. But in reality, all of it is just a reaction to a much larger force beneath. The market works the same way. What you see on M1 is reaction, not cause. And if you keep trading reactions, you will always be late. Not seconds late, structurally late. And when you're late at the structural level, there are only two outcomes. You either enter too late or you enter incorrectly. Both lead to the same result, loss. Here's the uncomfortable truth most traders avoid. The lower you go in time frame, the more control you think you have. But in reality, you're losing it. You get pulled into every move, obsessed with every candle. You start seeing opportunity everywhere. And that's when overtrading begins. Overtrading doesn't come from greed. It comes from the illusion that there are many opportunities. But those opportunities don't exist at the level you're observing. They are noise. Noise that forces action. Noise that convinces you that you need to do something. When in reality, the correct move is often to do nothing. Wait. Observe. Understand the higher structure before engaging with the detail. But that runs against human instinct. We don't like waiting, especially when the screen is constantly moving. Every tick is an invitation. Every candle is a stimulus, and you get pulled in, not because you want to, but because the system is designed to make you want to. This is the part you need to understand most clearly. The market doesn't need to trick you. It only needs you to look at the wrong time frame. The rest, you will do to yourself. You'll enter at the wrong place. You'll place your stop where it's easiest to get taken. You'll exit just before the move goes in your favor. You'll break your own system, all because you're observing a fragment of reality and mistaking it for the whole. You're not being defeated by the market. You're being defeated by how the market guides your thinking, step by step, across time frames. And the most dangerous part is this: you don't even realize it's happening. You believe you're analyzing. In reality, you're reacting to a script that's already been written. Face this directly. Institutional capital doesn't need to know who you are. It doesn't need to know what you think. It only needs to understand how the majority will respond at specific points, and it builds the entire price movement around that. Not to trick you randomly, but to guide you systematically. The game doesn't begin on M1. It begins where you rarely look: higher time frames. That's where they're not searching for entries. They're defining psychological zones. Zones where once price reaches them, the crowd begins to feel. Not mild emotion, but reactions strong enough to trigger decisions. A prior high, where traders took losses. A prolonged accumulation range, where the market stayed silent too long. A stretched trend where many were left behind. These zones are not just support and resistance. They are the market's collective memory, and large players know how to activate that memory. When price approaches these areas on H4 or D1, nothing dramatic happens. No explosive candles, no obvious signals. Just a slow shift. Quiet, deliberate. You look at it and see nothing special. You ignore it. You wait for something clearer. But while you're waiting, they're positioning. Once price is in place, they move down the stack. Not to analyze, but to trigger you. On M15, structure begins to appear. A minor consolidation forms. Price compresses. You start paying attention. You begin to read. On M5, movement becomes more defined. Highs and lows take shape. You draw trend lines. It starts to make sense. And then on M1, everything becomes alive. Candles accelerate. Volatility expands. You feel like the market is about to break out. This is the critical moment. Not because the market changed, but because you did. From observation to expectation. From expectation to belief. And when belief becomes strong enough, you enter. But step back and look at the entire sequence. Nothing in it was random. No one forced you into the trade. No signal was sent to you. They simply built layers of perception. From higher time frame to lower. Higher time frame sets context. Mid time frame builds structure. Lower time frame triggers emotion. And you complete the final step: execution. That's how the manipulation works. Not through price itself, but through how you interpret price. You believe a breakout is opportunity. They know you will. You believe compression means expansion is coming. They know you're waiting for it. You believe the cleanest top setup is the safest entry. They know that's where liquidity peaks. And when liquidity peaks, that's when they act. Not before, not after, but exactly when you feel the most certain. A sharp reversal. Fast, decisive. No time to think. Your stop gets taken. You're shocked. You don't understand how such a perfect setup failed. But the truth is, the setup didn't fail. It completed its function. Its function was never to make you money. It was to provide liquidity for them to build position. You're not trading the market. You're trading inside a system designed to trigger predictable behavior. And your behavior is highly predictable. When price surges, you fear missing out. When price drops, you fear losing. When price stalls, you lose patience, FOMO, fear, boredom. These are not flaws. They are tools. Large players don't need to eliminate your emotions. They just need to amplify the right one at the right time. On higher time frames, they create ambiguity. You hesitate. On mid time frames, they create logic. You start to understand. On lower time frames, they create urgency. You feel forced to act. That transition from ambiguity, logic, urgency is the perfect trap. You don't realize you're being guided because everything appears reasonable. But trading is not a game of surface level logic. It's a game of intent behind movement. A price rally is not always buying strength. It can be a mechanism to attract buyers. A sell off is not always selling pressure. It can be a way to force others to sell. If you only read the shape, you will always misread the meaning. That's why two traders can look at the same chart and one makes money while the other loses. Not because they see different things, but because they interpret them differently. One sees opportunity, the other sees a trap. That difference doesn't come from indicators. It comes from understanding this. Each time frame doesn't just display price, it activates a different psychological layer. If you don't recognize that, you'll be pulled from one layer to the next. You'll see a signal on M1 without understanding why it exists. You'll see logic on M15 without knowing what it serves. You'll ignore H4 because it's too slow. But that's where the outcome was already decided. You don't need to be smarter than the market. You just need to stop reacting the way the market expects you to. You don't need the best time frame. You need the one that fits how you think, how you react, and how you handle pressure. If you get that wrong, everything downstream breaks. A sound strategy becomes irrelevant. Good discipline collapses. And in the end, you don't lose to the market. You lose because you're operating in an environment that was never built for you. Face what most traders avoid. Not everyone can make money on every time frame, and trying to do so is the fastest path to losing control. Some traders open M1 and feel alive. They like speed, they like quick reactions, they like the sensation of being in the game. But those same traders are the easiest to pull into the spiral because lower time frames don't give you time to think. They force decisions constantly, relentlessly. At that point, you're not analyzing, you're reacting. And reaction is not a trader's edge. It's a survival instinct designed to respond to threat, not to process probability. If you cannot remain completely composed under pressure, if fast movement triggers you, if you've ever entered a trade simply because price is moving, then lower time frames are not your advantage. They are your trap. On the other side, some traders can't tolerate waiting. They open H4 or D1 and feel like nothing is happening. They grow impatient. They start to doubt. They drop to lower time frames, and the cycle resets. Not because they lack discipline, but because they're forcing themselves into a rhythm that doesn't belong to them. This is the core mistake. You choose a time frame based on the profits you've heard about, not based on how you actually operate. You see someone making fast money on M5. You assume that's the path. You try. You fail. You see someone holding positions on D1 with large returns. You try. You can't tolerate the drawdown. You exit early, not because you're incapable, but because you're out of sync. A time frame is not a technical tool. It's a psychological environment. Each time frame imposes a different kind of pressure, a different pace, a different decision framework. And if you don't match it, you'll always be misaligned. Start with yourself, not the chart. How long can you sit in front of the screen and remain sharp? 1 hour? 3 hours? Or do you start drifting after 20 minutes? How do you respond when price moves against you? Can you hold and follow your plan? Or do you start second guessing and exit early? Do you need constant action to feel productive? Or can you wait for hours, even days, without pressure? These questions are not technical, but they determine everything. If you need clarity and time to think, higher timeframes will give you that. Slower pace, fewer signals, but each signal carries weight. You don't need to react fast. You need to think correctly. If you prefer decisiveness, want to be flat by the end of the day, don't want overnight exposure, mid-range timeframes fit better. They offer enough movement to act while still giving you space to analyze. If, and only if, you can sustain intense focus, maintain discipline in constant volatility, and remain emotionally neutral through rapid fluctuations, then lower timeframes become a tool. But be honest, most people are not operating at that level. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. The mistake is trying to prove otherwise. There's a simple principle you need to anchor. The higher the time frame, the less noise. The lower the time frame, the more temptation. You don't need more trades to make more money. You need better positioning. One well-placed H4 trade can outperform 10 M1 trades. Not because the market is more generous, but because you're aligned with larger capital flows. You don't need to see every move. You need to participate in meaningful ones. And to do that, you need structure, not complexity. Structure. Define one primary time frame. This is where decisions are made. No switching, no dropping down after a loss, no seeking confirmation elsewhere when confidence fades. Then define one higher time frame, not for entries, for context. And finally, if necessary, one lower time frame, only for execution refinement, never for defining direction. 3 layers, clear roles, no overlap, and most importantly, consistency. Most traders don't fail because they chose the wrong time frame at the start. They fail because they keep changing it mid-trade. When they're in profit, they zoom in to optimize. When they're in loss, they zoom out to hope. Every shift breaks the system. You cannot build consistency on a moving foundation. A time frame is not just where you look, it's where your conviction lives. And if that conviction isn't stable, you'll be pulled by every fluctuation. Pick a rhythm, a lens, a structure, and stay with it long enough to understand it. Not days, not weeks. Long enough to experience both wins and losses within the same framework. Only then can you judge whether it truly fits. Trading is not about finding what's best. It's about finding what's sustainable for you. Before you think about profit, think about survival. Because in this game, you don't need to win fast. You need to avoid getting eliminated. And one more thing. If you're still here, if you actually want to understand how markets operate beneath the surface, how capital really moves, then commit to building perspective, not chasing signals. There are no guarantees here, no sure strategies, no shortcuts, only one thing, reality. Often uncomfortable, but necessary. Before you place your next trade, remember this. Trading is not a game of opportunity. It's a game of probability. You can be right and still lose. You can be wrong and still win. But if you don't manage risk, you won't stay in the game long enough to learn the difference. The market guarantees nothing. Not profit, not fairness, not a second chance. Every position carries risk, sometimes more than you expect. And if you enter this game chasing fast money without understanding what you're doing, without control over your reactions, then the risk isn't just your account. It's how you interpret the entire system. Slow down. Choose the right time frame. Understand yourself. And only engage when you know exactly where you stand. Because in this market, profit doesn't come from seeing more than others. It comes from not being pulled into what was never yours to trade.